Hi everyone.
I hope you're all doing well.
Before we move to our today,
I want to say that
this channel is user-friendly, no offensive content.
no misinformation
We explain things with respect, curiosity.
and authenticity.
Now, let's open our minds and take a look into something we often take for granted. The lens. From reading glasses to the Hubble Space Telescope, from smartphone cameras to microscopes in labs
Lenses have shaped how we see the world.
and beyond it. But how did it all begin? What ancient hands first shaped transparent glass?
Into something that could bend light?
This is not just a story,
Of science or optics.
it's a story of vision, trial and error, and the ancient quest to understand the invisible. Long before modern eyeglasses, people were already experimenting with materials that could focus light. The oldest known lens was found in Nimrud in present-day Iraq, dating back to around 750 BCE. Known as the Nimrud lens, it was made of polished crystal and possibly used as,
A magnifying tool.
or even to start fires, using concentrated sunlight. The ancient Egyptians used semi-spherical crystals in jewelry and carvings, but there is speculation they may have noticed these stones distorted or magnified objects, even if they didn't understand why. In ancient Greece,
Aristophanes' play The Clouds
makes a humorous reference to a glass that could concentrate sunlight, perhaps an early lens, used to burn parchment or light fires. But the turning point came much later, when Islamic Golden Age scholars began systematically exploring optics. In the 10th century, Ibn Sahl, a mathematician from Baghdad, wrote a treatise on lenses and refraction. His work predates and anticipates what would later be known as Snell's law. But the real revolution in understanding light came from Ibn al-Haytham, also known in the West as Al-Hazar. In the 11th century, he wrote the legendary Book of Optics, where he described how vision works, not by rays shooting from the eye, as many believed, but by light entering the eye. He used lenses in experiments to test his theories, establishing the scientific method. Long before Europe's Renaissance thinkers, these scholars laid the groundwork for what lenses would become, not just tools, but instruments of discovery. They pushed glass from ornament to enlightenment. As the knowledge of optics spread, so did the art of lens making. The translation movement in medieval Spain and Sicily brought Arabic texts, including the works of Ibn al-Haytham, into Latin. This changed everything. In 13th century Italy, artisans in Venice began experimenting with clear glass.
on the island of Murano,
This glass was smoother, pure,
and easier to shape.
making it ideal for early lenses. By the late 1200s, Europe saw the appearance of the first wearable eyeglasses. Historical records mention monks and scholars in Florence and Pisa using convex lenses mounted in frames to read with less strain. These were magnifiers, helping the far-sighted. There was no mass production yet, just handcrafted pieces by skilled glassworkers. Interestingly, the invention of eyeglasses coincided with an intellectual awakening. As more people began reading, demand grew, and so did innovation. In the centuries that followed, optical instruments became more sophisticated. In the late 1500s, a Dutch spectacle maker named Zacharias Janssen
Is often credited with building
one of the first compound microscopes combining multiple lenses to see tiny details. This gave rise to an entirely new world, the microscopic universe. Soon after, in 1608,
another Dutchman, Hans Lippershey,
applied for a patent for a device that could make distant objects appear closer. It was the telescope. The news spread rapidly, and in 1609,
Galileo Galilei,
crafted his own improved version. Galileo's telescope revealed moons orbiting Jupiter, phases of Venus,
and craters on the moon.
shattering long-held beliefs about a perfect celestial sphere. But while telescopes looked outward, microscopes looked inward, and both relied on the same ancient principle that shaped glass, could bend light to reveal what the naked eye missed. By the 17th century, optics became a central subject in science. Johannes Kepler, a German astronomer, advanced the theory of how lenses form images, describing real and virtual focus points. He built upon Alhazen's legacy and corrected misconceptions from earlier models of vision.
Lenses weren't just tools now.
They were instruments of proof, used to test theories and expand the boundaries of knowledge. They helped confirm the heliocentric model, explore bacteria, and inspire more refined designs. By the 8th century, lens grinding became more precise. Scientists like Antony van Leeuwenhoek used handmade lenses to view single-celled organisms, pioneering microbiology without even formal scientific training.
Lenses were becoming
The bridge between what humans could imagine and what they could prove. As centuries passed, the shaping of lenses became an art.
as much as it was a science.
In the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution transformed lens production. Machines allowed for consistency, while chemistry enabled new types of glass with specialized properties. Suddenly, lenses weren't just tools. For scientists and scholars, they entered photography,
Navigation, medicine, and warfare.
In 1839, Louis Daguerre used a lens to capture one of the first photographs, forever changing how humans preserve memory and time. Soon after, camera lenses improved. Inventors like Joseph Petzval created mathematically optimized designs that increased image sharpness
And brightness.
This made portrait photography commercially viable and culturally transformative. By the late 19th century, optical glass was being refined in ways never seen before. Carl Zeiss, a German optical engineer, revolutionized lens production through precision mechanics and optical science. His collaboration with physicist Ernst Abbe led to innovations that allowed microscopes to image at new depths. Their work introduced the concept of apochromatic lenses, reducing color distortions and improving clarity. It was in this period that lenses began saving lives. Doctors began using lenses in tools like the ophthalmoscope, allowing them to inspect the retina and diagnose eye conditions early. Lenses were also entering classrooms. Children could now observe cells, insects,
And stars.
not just read about them. And in the world of timekeeping,
Lenses found a home inside projection systems.
they enabled the rise of cinema. Through film projectors, light passed through celluloid,
And glass lenses
casting moving images.
onto silver screens and into imaginations.
But lenses were not done evolving. The 20th century brought an entirely new challenge, making them smaller, faster, and smarter. World War II accelerated.
Optical innovation.
Periscopes, rangefinders, gun sights, and aerial cameras all demanded high-precision lenses. The field of optical coatings emerged, thin layers on lenses that reduced glare and increased light transmission. This era also saw the introduction of plastic lenses, cheaper and lighter than traditional glass. By mid-century, eyeglasses became mass-produced, affordable,
And fashionable.
Corrective lenses were no longer just about necessity. They became personal identity, and in homes around the world, televisions brought lenses into the core of family life. Lenses turned radiation into visual signals, shaping modern entertainment and shared culture. All the while, in laboratories and observatories, scientists were building the most powerful lenses ever imagined to explore the smallest particles.
And the farthest galaxies.
By the late 20th and early 21st centuries, lenses became inseparable from digital technology. But the transformation wasn't just digital, it was miniaturized. Inside your smartphone, a tiny stack of glass and plastic now captures entire landscapes.
Faces and memories in just milliseconds.
These lenses autofocus, adjust aperture.
And correct distortion. All without you noticing.
They depend on precision nanofabrication
and software algorithms, a fusion of optics and code.
Yet, despite this advancement, the principle remains the same.
Light enters, it bends, and it reveals.
The lens, once a crystal curiosity in ancient Nimrud, is now at the heart of artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and even robotic surgery. Surgeons today operate using cameras fitted with micro-lenses that offer stunning clarity, allowing movements inside the body without opening large incisions. In astronomy, the James Webb Space Telescope carries a system of mirrors and lenses so advanced it can see back in time to the earliest galaxies
After the Big Bang,
its infrared sensors, shielded by gold-coated mirrors, rely on highly engineered optics refined through centuries of lens-making evolution. And lenses now exist
in fields never imagined.
from fiber optic cables transmitting data through light to laser lenses used in precision surgery to smart contact lenses being developed to monitor blood sugar. The possibilities continue to expand.
We've gone
From hand-polished rock crystal to algorithm-driven lens arrays smaller than a grain of rice. But in this journey, from magnifying glasses to quantum optics, one truth remains: the human desire to see better.
has always driven innovation. We shaped glass, and it reshaped us. Not just how we see,
But how we learn, heal, connect.
and dream.
This has been the hidden story of lenses, echoes in glass, that changed everything. All the information we provide comes from verified historical sources, including books, records, and archaeology. Key sources include Book of Optics by Ibn al-Haytham al-Hazan, The Science of Optics by David Brewster, History of Glass and Lens Making by Alan McFarlane, Smithsonian Archives, and NASA JPL James Webb documentation. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thrones of Knowledge, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified on time. Suggest our next topic in the comments to help make our journey even better.